Morning. This is call number 2021-72370 in the interest of Dakota and Shannon Bolden. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
My name is Dejanay Peterson, and I am the mother to the children.
All right, and representing the state of Texas.
Andrea Eoff.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent, Jermaine Bolden, is not present. He was personally served on November 29th at 9:17 a.m. at 285 Beale Road, Morrisville, North Carolina. He was also given further notice of this Zoom hearing by certified mail, return receipt requested, which was delivered on March 14th, 2022 in Morrisville, North Carolina. And he has not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct, Ms. Eoff?
That's correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we'd like to call Ms. Bolden first.
Okay.
Ms. Bolden, will you please state your name for the record?
It's Dejanay Bolden.
And Ms. Bolden, will you please state the names and ages of your children?
Dakota Alake Bolden, age 3, and Shayana Kyrie Bolden, age 2.
And you are currently married to Mr. Bolden, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And both of your children were born during your marriage to Mr. Bolden, is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And you and Mr. Bolden, you were married in Texas and your children were conceived in Texas, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Bolden live with you and the children in the state of Texas and provide support for them in this state?
Yes, ma'am.
So is it your understanding that even though he's recently moved to North Carolina, Texas can still exercise jurisdiction over him because of the fact that the children were born here and he has lived here and supported them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When did you and Mr. Bolden separate?
June of 2021.
And has Mr. Bolden made any effort to visit the children since your separation?
No, ma'am.
All right. Have you mostly acted as the primary parent for the children since your separation?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to appoint you as joint managing conservators of your children with you designating their primary residence?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking that the court not place a geographic restriction on you or the children's residence because Mr. Bolden is living in another state at this point in time?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking that Mr. Bolden have a modified possession order for the children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And at this point in time, are you asking that the court order that Mr. Bolden have 10 half-day visits from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., followed by 10 whole-day visits from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., followed by 10 overnight visits from 6 p.m. on Saturday to 6 p.m. on Sunday, and then a standard possession order after that?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking that all exchanges for the children occur at the Chuck E. Cheese located at 5075 Fairmont Parkway in Pasadena, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you explain to the court why you feel it's necessary to have this phased possession order?
So he can work his way up to being or showing that he's a fit parent for the kids.
And at this point in time, your children are both toddlers, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you feel like he's worked to really develop a relationship with them at this point in time?
No, ma'am.
And whenever you guys were living together and you left the children with him, did you feel like they were safe?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any examples of how he took out his frustration on the children when you were away from them?
With Jakota, our oldest son, anytime we got into a heated argument or I would go to work after a disagreement, if Coda did anything that he didn't like, he would pinch him and leave marks and sometimes pierce skin with his pinches.
Did he ever hit your toddlers with a belt?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he ever strap them into their car seats and then just leave them unattended so he didn't have to work with them?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever have an experience where you couldn't trust him to feed them if he was left unattended with them for long periods of time?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like this stepped possession order that starts with short visits and slowly works up to longer visits will protect the children from being in a situation like that again?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like a possession order like the one we described earlier is in their best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know what Mr. Bolden currently does for work?
He's a server at Waffle House.
And to your knowledge, there's evidence that he makes more or less than minimum wage, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to calculate child support based on gross monthly wages on the minimum wage presumption and order a monthly child support obligation of $267 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
And how are the children currently covered for health insurance?
They have Medicaid.
Are you asking the court to order cash medical support in the amount of $75 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe an order that complies with the things we've talked about today would be in your children's best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to approve and enter this order today?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Is there
you.
a non-disclosure provision?
Yes, I apologize, Your Honor. Do you feel that if Mr. Bolden has your address and phone number, that you could be subjected to future harassment or abuse?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you like the court to order that your address and phone number should be kept confidential?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. I pass.
And why do you think that your address should be held confidential, ma'am?
He has made it very clear before that he would make efforts to take my children away if I didn't let him see them, or if I didn't let him make contact with them.
So if he knew where you lived, do you think he would threaten you in some way or abuse you or the children or cause some serious harm or injury or harass you in some way?
Yes, sir, because I do feel like he would show up pretty upset about everything in general. And he used to be very threatening with guns of any kind.
Also, you're not asking for any retroactive child support and medical support, is that correct?
No, sir.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.